Friday. Welcome to the last episode of the social media scene for 2021. So today I got a special guest, actually a returning guest, and I'll let her introduce herself in just a moment. And what are we going to talk about today? Of course, we're going to talk about the top social media news, stories, events of 2021 and what to expect for 2022. So all that and more is coming up next. Don't go anywhere. I will be right back. Happy Friday, happy Friday, happy Friday. Technically, happy New Year's Eve. How is everybody doing? Man, 2021 went by in a damn blur. But we still here. That's what matters. So today, we're going to talk about the top stories of 2021, top social media news, stories, and events. So if you are new to the social media scene, hey, how you doing? I am Alice Fuller, principal consultant at Sheer Social. Now, if you're wondering, okay, who are you? And why should I give you any time this day? Because today on the social media scene, I'm going to share with you, in case you just missed a lot of what happened in 2021 in reference to social media, I'm going to get you up to snuff, as I guess they say, and prepare you for what's to come in 2022. Because a lot happened in 2021. It did. But not everything was, I guess, we'd say a game changer. It didn't create a lot of buzz. But there were some things that really did. We got us buzzing as social media marketers. So today I also have a special guest, a returning guest, Jennifer Navarette. So Jennifer, go ahead, introduce yourself to the people.
Well, I'm super excited to be back. Thank you so much, Alice, for inviting me back. My name is Jennifer Navarette, and I am a podcast producer, a virtual event producer, a social media strategist, a speaker, and a Twitter Spaces host, and so much more. So I can't wait to dig into all of the great stuff that we're going to talk about today.
Wonderful. Now, repeat your name again.
Navarette?
Oh, see, you should have told me that earlier. I have to practice that. I can't.
Well, Navarette is good. That works.
Sorry. You should have told me when we first met, because then I'd have time to practice it. Now I've been saying it wrong for months.
It's good. It's
Okay.
good.
So I'm going to just stick to Jennifer today. How about that?
Yes.
So, in case you missed the top of the show, like I said before, we're going to run down at least 5 stories today. Five. Five anime. Five. Wait, that's a whole nother joke. Five. Five of 5 top stories. This is my opinion. Okay, keep that in mind. And Jennifer is going to, add her 2 cents too. But these are the top 5 stories, in my opinion, that really got things buzzing in the area of social media. Okay, in the industry of social media marketing. So we're going to go ahead and start with number 5. We're going to start with number 5. You ready, Jennifer?
Totally ready. Let's dig in.
Okay, so number 5, we're going to count from the bottom to the top. Number 5, we're going to talk about the creator economy. I know you're thinking, that ain't nothing special. Maybe not to you, but let's keep it 100 a minute, because we've been building up to this creator economy for the last, I'd say
Ooh.
3-4 years now.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't even have a name for it. We just called it influencer marketing, and we still use that term a lot. But we didn't have an actual phrase. We didn't have a thing like we're calling it creator economy. What does that really even mean? Does it just mean influencers getting paid? It's a little bit deeper than that. Jennifer, what say you?
So I think what happened is that these platforms that we've been spending the last 15 or so years sharing and creating content for recognize that we as content creators have value and
Mhm,
that they should reward us. They should, give us something in return because what we know is that we are creating content on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube, insert name of platform here, and we are not getting paid for that content. Now, you can get paid if you are an influencer, if you amass enough of a following. There are ways to get paid, but you have to earn the right to get there. It doesn't happen instantly with your very first tweet. So what I see now is that brands, portfolio, platforms, Twitter, they're all coming up with their own creator programs.
mhm.
And on Twitter, it's Spark, the Spark program, right? On Facebook, it's a creator program. Clubhouse, all of them have it. On YouTube, you can become a partner, but you have to meet certain requirements. You have to apply. And I think we're going to see those application barriers really lower as we move forward, but it was really exciting to see so many launches of creator programs in 2021.
That's true because at this point, people are really beginning to see, uh, this is my full-time job now. Yeah, this is creator. What's your title? Creator. Social media creator, uh, social media influence slash creator. But however you look at it, people now see this as a viable job, not just a hobby, not something I just do on the weekends and when I feel like it, but a viable career. Now, some may argue that, but then when you look at the money that people are making in this industry, they didn't do it overnight. Let's be clear though. This is nothing that anybody has done literally overnight. One viral video does not a career make. Okay, so let's be clear on that part. But when you look at the amount of money that some of these individuals have been making for even the last 3 years, it puts some celebrity bank accounts to shame. And I can say that because I still work in entertainment, so I know. And you know what? I got proof because I know some of y'all are not going to believe it. So I want you to understand that I'm going to go over here to the digital information world, and I want you to see this headline because this was really buzzing for 2021. Now I'm going to try to fix it so we don't see all the extra little ads and whatnots. But the creator economy boomed in 2021. Indeed, it did. So they say the biggest earners were on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. I would agree. I would agree with that. YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. So of course they've done a report, but you know what? I'm not going to go into the report so much, but we can take a little piece of this. Content creators prefer TikTok 30%, Instagram second at 22%, and YouTube tied for that third at 22%. This is based on the Influencer Marketing Factory's Creator Economy report. Now, how many people were involved in the report is my question. So the demographic was what, 18 to 24, um, 54 plus for YouTube, and 18 to 44 for Instagram. Combined, this is almost all demographics. Yeah, that's true. And here's what's also very, very interesting: the time spent being a full time creator in relation to earning per year. Now, this is some small print right here, but I'll read it to you. It takes at least 3 years, three, for a full time content creator to start earning a significant yearly income, and on average, more than 6 years to accomplish $1 million. Hey, I ain't mad at that at all. I've worked longer than 6 years in my life at one job.
Yeah, and I don't have $1 million to show
I'm
for it.
not a millionaire yet. It's not a long time.
Yeah,
I'm
six
laughing.
years.
I'm,
6 years is pretty good. Pretty good plan there.
I'm laughing because you've got people that have worked 40 years, 50 years. It's funny, but it's not. It's funny, but it's
Well,
not.
it's also a wake-up call. If you're sleeping on this, time
Yeah,
to wake up.
time to wake up. And I don't care what your age is either. Now, don't be discouraged if you are grown, and I mean grown. You got house, you got kids, you got mortgage, you got grown folk stuff. You ain't living in your basement because there's some other factors to consider here. But at the end of the day, when you start thinking about this creator economy and what it's done thus far in 2022, oh, it's only going to get bigger and stronger. So I want to let you listen to Mario Armstrong. Now, if y'all don't know who Mario Armstrong is, he's been in this influencer, social media marketing, digital marketing game for over 10 years. And you may or may not have seen him on television. I think he's a commentator or a contributor for, is it NBC? One of the major news networks. So he's on TV, okay? And I don't mean just locally. I mean, he's on national TV as their go to for digital marketing, info, tech, and all of that. So he did this interesting post on LinkedIn just a couple of days ago, and I want y'all to see this. So
So
let
he
me go
might
over.
know a thing.
You think he might know a little something, just a little something, just a little something. Okay, so here we are. Now, what he says, creator economy is worth 104 billion. Creators get brand deals now. Indeed, according to LinkedIn News, there's been a 40% increase in creators just on LinkedIn. And 75% of brands are spending money on micro audiences. That means if you don't have 10,000 followers, it's okay. You can do a lot with your 5,000, 7,000, or whatever. If you're not getting brand deals, you should be. Okay, so he asked, what questions do you have about brand sponsorships? So let's listen to what he has to say.
The creator economy keeps growing and growing. 104 billion and counting. YouTube channels are blowing up. Podcasts are happening. More and more people are doing events, both physical and virtual. Social media posts, influencer marketing. Brands are spending 75% of their budgets with micro influencers, not just big influencers anymore. Small influencers, small audiences. It's growing. Are you getting parts of the bag for you? Ask me questions, please.
Okay, I'm curious as to see, did anybody ask questions? I just want to be nosy. Let's see. Did Michelle move? Okay. How does one get started? Starts with alignment and how to develop your pitch in a way that is very impressive to a brand. Okay, cool. Uh, you only got one or two questions? Okay. So if y'all want to find this, just look him up on LinkedIn, Mario Armstrong. You see how to spell it there, and ask him a question. Because when I tell you, he is someone you definitely want to talk to or delve further in. Well, let me do it this way. He is definitely someone that's worthy of talking to about the creator economy because he was already in this space before we had a name for it.
Mhm.
Okay. Way before we had a creator economy. Matter of fact, Mario used to have a show with Al Roker, that he pitched and I do believe received an Emmy for, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, I digress. So just know, story number 5, the big thing of 2021, the creator economy booming, and it's going to continue to do so for 2022. So hashtag grab the bag.
For sure. And I want to jump in, dive a little bit deep before we move on to the next one, where he talked about you don't have to be a big influencer, the little micro, the niche influencers. That
Mm-hmm.
is so, so true. And I feel like folks think, oh, I have to have 1.2 million followers on Instagram or
True.
something crazy, right? No, no, you can even launch with an idea. If you have a good message and you've got a good idea, and you find the right partner, the right sponsor, the right collaborator for it, you can launch with money right out of the gate. I think we as creators have to stop thinking that we have to like grind it out for years before anything happens. Not to say you're not going to grind it out, you're going to grind it out. But why not consider developing that new podcast, that new TV live stream show, that new thing with a collaborative partner, with a sponsor, and having them be part and parcel of it as you develop it, so that you're not having to, grind it out, in the with the what is it, with your pockets pulled out, with moths flying out of them. No, why not start with a funding and get going that way?
That's very true. And for those of you that are gamers,
Mm.
I would dare say this
Huge.
year, 2021, gaming, I think, took on a whole new level. We're seeing gamers in commercials now. And I would dare say I've never seen a gamer in a commercial. Well, not that I know who all the big gamers are at all, but they let you know they're a gamer by how they're set up in the shot, and what you see. I don't remember seeing a gamer in a national commercial before, wherein the brand let you know right out the gate, we want to work with gamers, female, African American, matters not with your race, ethnicity. We want to work with some of everybody who's a gamer. So for those of you that are on Twitch, especially for those of you that are using Twitch pretty regularly, then you already know about the oh, hey Troy, how you doing, Troy? Hey Curtis. Yes. So when you start talking about Twitch, live streaming, gaming, but it's not just gaming. So let's be clear on that. But there was a huge leak this year. A couple of months ago, a huge data leak. And technically, they put everybody's business on Front Street. And who is they? Some hackers. That's all I can tell you. Hackers. That's all I can tell you. This data leak put the payouts from Twitch on a public forum where anybody who wanted to grab that information could. Unfortunately, I was a little late. I'll be honest, I'd have got it because I wanted to know. But I want y'all to see this. Now, this is from the Wall Street Journal. You see here, Twitch data leak shows some streamers make hundreds of thousands per month. Per month, people. Streamer in Chicago says some income varies month to month at the Amazon unit. And of course, Amazon, if you didn't know, does own Twitch. But when you look through here, I'm not subscribing to get the full story, so you can hang all of that up. But at the end of the day, when we start talking about how much money these individuals were making, I'm talking millions.
Serious money.
Serious money. You can buy your mama a house. You can buy your friends and them a house and a car. You can travel. That kind of thing. You can pay some bills and not worry something else may not be paid. You are living a good life if you know how to manage your money. That's the kind of payments that were coming through Twitch. But like I said, these individuals didn't make this money overnight. It took them 3 years, 6 years, or whatever to get to that level. But the fact that they got to that level, making $1 million, or hundreds of thousands of dollars, and here's the thing that gets me is they're doing what they love.
Mm.
That's the thing. That's the thing. They're, in many instances, they may not be working a full-time job. And I'm not telling y'all to quit your full-time job. So do not at me any mess, first and foremost, because you know you in your life better than I ever would. What I am saying is it's so great that people now feel as if I can explore. I can really have a career at something that I love. That's the big point. Okay, so let's move on to number 4. Okay. Any comments from the peanut gallery? No, cool. Now, number 4. Number 4 is, what is number 4? Social audio. I know some of y'all are like, whatever. Okay, keep that attitude if you want to, and you're going to miss grabbing the bag too. Now, Jennifer, as a podcaster, what have you seen in 2021 that gives credibility to why social audio boomed in 2021, even though the fervor over Clubhouse it did kind of wane. You can't.
Yeah, Clubhouse launched this whole social audio aspect that everybody else and their brother, Twitter, Facebook, Spotify, they're doing the land grab on that. And of course, there's new players out there like Fireside. But as a podcaster who's been doing this for 16 years, I absolutely love social audio. The biggest barrier to entry for many folks getting into podcasting is the tech barrier. Starts off with there. But then the next barrier is, kind of trying to develop their show and develop their audience and develop their voice. And social audio is a really, really great way to do that. It's a low lift. It's Twitter. If you're doing it on Twitter, which I'm a big fangirl, if you're doing spaces, you already have a community built there because we've all been on Twitter for so long. So it's easier to kind of get an audience to gather around you, to get some listeners, to get some fans. And it's easy for you to develop that show as you go. What I'm seeing a lot of folks doing who have been really active in spaces for 3, 6 months, they're now turning those spaces into podcasts. And because they've developed their community and they put the grind in, they ground it out, now they have an audience that's going to go with them to the podcast. I'm seeing some folks getting sponsored deals. I'm seeing some spaces hosts who are now doing this as a service. I'm one of them for other companies and other services, people who want to get into this. And it's an interesting thing. I can tell you that this was not on my bingo card for 2021, but I absolutely love that it's here and I only see it growing in 2022.
I'm mad you said bingo card. Okay. So you playing bingo over there? No judgment. Bingo was mad fun. It brought memories of me and grandma. That's all. I'm sorry.
Yes.
So, but at the end of the day, you kind of knew the fervor with Clubhouse was going to decline.
Yeah.
Especially once people started going outside. And that desire to talk to people face to face got so strong that people, I don't have to rely on just this anymore. Now I got options. Not only that, but when you look at Twitter Spaces, Spotify Green Rooms, Facebook Rooms, and you were introducing me to what's the thing? Facebook Voice Stories. I don't even know what that
It's
is.
just for stories. It's 20 seconds. It's cute, but I'm not into stories that much on Facebook, but 20 seconds to try and say something, you thought Twitter was short. 20 seconds is very short.
That reminds me of something. Was it called Anchor? I think it was called Anchor, something like that. It was an app, and a friend of mine, Tachi, used to use it, and you would do little audio snippets and place them on social media, and then they lengthened it to full on podcast, and then they were bought by
Spotify. Anchor was bought by Spotify.
Spotify. Yeah. So it's not like this is new, but at the end of the day, when we start talking about what to look for 2022, there's a lot of people who will not put their mugshot. And no, I've never been to jail, so don't even get it twisted. I say that, jokingly. Put their face on camera. They're not ready for that yet. And the beautiful part about the growth of social audio is because it takes that barrier. Because when you start talking about equipment, people look at video and think, oh no, so you got lights, you got monitors, you got microphones, you got a setup. All I need is a phone to talk into, and I can do the same thing you're doing, have even greater impact, because to the average person, audio is portable. Video, in most people's minds, video requires, I got to sit here and watch this, don't I?
Full attention.
Full attention. As opposed to, hey, I can clean up the house. I can put my little phones in and work and multitask. Video requires a full attention. It's almost like one of your best dates where they give you your sorry, that's one of my I had a flashback. So where your attention is fully on video, but technically you can do the same thing with video. You don't have to literally sit and look at us talking. As long as you hear what I'm saying is the most important part. But at the end of the day, the monetization piece that's coming to social audio now, podcasters are making good money. And I'm not just talking about the podcasters that were major marketers and their audience followed them. Because one thing that irks me about certain the way we present things to people who are new to social media, especially for those people that have been in marketing for 15 years, 10 years, and they've already built an audience, thanks to stages, thanks to, I mean, they've been in the industry for 15, 20 years, and then they want to tell you how to start from zero. You didn't start from zero. I digress.
I preach because I agree with this big time.
You didn't start from zero. And so to give people this perception that I just started from zero, no, you had an audience follow you across social media. So then when you launched your whatever platform, you had 15,000 people to start, that kind of thing. But still, for those of you that are starting from zero, I don't want you to get into that mindset of, isn't it oversaturated? Because I did begin to hear that a lot in 2021. Oh, podcasting has become oversaturated. Television been around forever. That has not stopped nary a producer I know from pitching ideas. Get what I'm saying? So,
Well, there's stats to back that up too. I mean, Lipson did a research report or released stats in, like, I want to say February of March of this year. So obviously things shift around, but at the time they said that for every 1,900 blogs that exist in the world, there was only one podcast. So nobody's telling bloggers to not create a new blog. No, I don't hear that, right? If you have a mission and a message, get it out there. And even if you're like, "Oh, there's already people doing it over here and so has an amazing podcast over there." No one has your voice, no one has your experience, no one is you. Only you are you. And so you should share your mission and your message out there with the world. And social audio podcasting is a great way to do it.
indeed, indeed, indeed. So let's say hello to some people. Hey, Maxine. She says, word. Uh, word up. Okay. Word. Digital space honestly has no limits. Indeed,
Ooh, I love
indeed.
that. I
Yeah,
love that.
you're right. You can do whatever you want. You can build your community. And people are really beginning to build we were talking about communities. People are really beginning to build communities around audio, not
Mhm.
just video. So for those of you, like I said, that want to dip your toe in and you're not fully committed to the video thing, because we know 2021, we're in the pulpit telling you, we're in the social media pulpit telling you, you gotta do video. You gotta do video. Everything is short form video. You gotta do video. Well, you can still get a blessing. You can still bless people.
Absolutely.
You can still
Mhm.
anoint people through audio. Okay. So that was number 4. Number 5 was the creator economy and the growth of it. Number 4 is the growth of social audio, because I don't even think we had the word social audio, I don't even think was around
No.
yet, right?
It was, I think everyone was calling it live audio at first, and
Yes.
then it shifted to social audio, but it shifted to social audio when it was all of a sudden now Twitter doing it and everyone else doing it. So
Mm-hmm.
I like that. I think social audio is actually more appropriate because of that global connection. I am more connected now to people in Australia, in Italy, in Malaysia, in the UK, in Africa, in South America than I ever was before, all because of social audio.
Oh, you done gone global. Okay, well look at you. Okay, so Namdi, hi. I think you're new and you're watching over on YouTube. How you doing? I'm sorry if I said your name wrong. I do apologize. Blame my head, not my heart, as my grandmother used to say.
Oh,
Uh,
that's a wise saying. Your grandmother was wise.
she was sagacious as all get out. Like, that's my SAT word. People are like, what she just say? Look it up. Sagacious. There you go. So, hey Troy, how you doing? Me and Troy go way back. And then, hey Pat, happy new year to you too. Durham. Durham is in the building. Durham. That's how we say it in North Carolina, not Durham. Durham. It's Durrrm. Durham. Okay. for those of you. And no, Raleigh, Durham are not the same place. That's two very different cities. Okay, now, number 3. Oh, before I go there, though, before I go there about this whole Clubhouse thing, too, here's the thing, though. Let's go over here to Clubhouse on the Twitter, okay? Because when we started talking about the, I don't want to call it growth stalling, but I don't know how else to say it real pretty, real PR wise with Clubhouse. Clubhouse is still in the game now. I don't want people to think, well, Clubhouse is dead. No, that is not what I'm saying. What I am saying is they've got to figure out what to do now to keep people on the platform. So we look here, we're talking about, we're over here on CNBC, but I also want to show you this right here. There are signs that the buzz around Clubhouse is already fading, but investors are not deterred. Okay, so if the investors still see value in it, so should you. I mean, technically, they don't want to give up on their investment. I understand that, but there's still much you can do with Clubhouse. And now that it's open to everybody, okay, so you don't have to have an iOS device anymore. Everybody and their mama, cousin, whatever, can get on Clubhouse now. And then Clubhouse, though, here's the thing. Here's one reason I think some of the Clubhouse glamour and glitz kind of died.
And
it's
Android? Is it Android? I'm gonna guess. Is it because they took so long
I
to
think
get
that's one
into
reason.
Android?
I think
Yeah.
that's one reason. But this tweet here kind of sums it up for me. Let me show you my browser. Clubhouse. This is their official Twitter account. You guys, come on. And I'm adding the inflection and everything to that. The moan rooms. People. Why can't people just act right? And I know you're like, what is a moan room?
You don't want to know.
Let's just say there's an audience for everything, people. Everything. There is an audience for everything. And for those of you that, like to let your proclivities.
I wonder what word you were going to use. Well done.
Proclivities. I like to call them whole-clivities, but that's just me. Show a moan room was a good place to do that. No video though, all audio. And some of it was monetized. Yeah. So when you start talking about why some people probably left Clubhouse, outside of the reasons we've already said, I think a lot of people were beginning to see, I don't want this in my, when I open up the app and I see red room moans, moaning talent. Y'all holding auditions? When you see that in your feed, that turns people off. But then too, that is on Clubhouse's task or to-do list to make sure that when you open up the Clubhouse app, you are seeing the types of rooms, the types of content that you say you want. That is also why you got to be really careful about the people that you follow on these apps. Because you know what you came there to do, but you got some freaky friends, and we all got them, if we're honest. And they let their freak flag, just in the wind. They don't care what platform it is. I get it. And then some of them too are making money because they're going to take whatever traffic they get from Clubhouse and then take it over to what's the other place that just shut down? OnlyFans. I forgot about OnlyFans because that was a big news item this year too. Yeah. OnlyFans was like, you know what? We're not interested in the porn anymore. But that's what made you famous. Yeah. So we're doing a new thing. And it's funny because when you start thinking about how we no longer talk about what was our other blogging platform that changed, that got rid of all
Tumblr, Tumblr.
Tumblr, that got rid of all the adult content, and we don't even talk about Tumblr at all anymore.
No.
I keep waiting for the headline that Tumblr has been bought, and it hasn't been bought yet. But anyway, I digress. So number 5 story was, let me use my graphics since I spent this time to create them. Number 5 was the growth of the creator economy. Okay. Now, number 4, social audio. Just there is room for you to grow there. I don't care what Ray and them told you. There is room for you to grow if you don't want to do video just yet. And now we're looking at 3. Live shopping. Man, China is way ahead of us, as usual. But when we start thinking about how social media has changed the game for retailers, for e-commerce, I know a lot of people in the service businesses, they're like, well, I don't see how this impacts us just yet. Wait for it.
It's coming.
It's coming. It definitely is coming. But for those of you that are e-commerce, that are looking for ways to have your own QVC on Facebook, Instagram,
On Amazon,
YouTube, Amazon, TikTok, they got you.
Yeah.
And why do they have you? Specifically because they see more and more people now are actually shopping online. I mean, how many of you, because there's a couple of you in the room, how many of you did more shopping online than actual foot traffic? I mean, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. Like, go into a store.
No.
Amazon, if Amazon doesn't have it, it ain't meant to be had. I mean,
Yeah.
So you've got Amazon Live, and I know a lot of you probably don't even know Amazon Live exists. But I'm gonna give y'all a
It's
little.
big, but it's new-ish and it's growing, but you have to apply. Not everybody can do it. There are
Yep.
barriers to entry, but it's coming to the general public soon.
Yes. So I'm gonna give y'all a little taste of what this newfound QVC like shopping VI social media, and they add a layer of video that happens to be live. It kind of reminds me of telethons back in the day, to a degree. You know,
That's a good comparison. You're right.
I have my moments of brilliance. Okay, so when we start talking about real time engagement, real video, in other words, real live video, and you can pay for it, you can make your quote unquote make your donations now. You can literally get your stuff right then and there, pay for it rather. Let me rephrase that. You can pay for it as you're watching somebody's describe all the benefits. So let's go over here to the Amazon.com live. And as you said, Amazon has been at this a little while. Everybody else is now playing catch up. So you see here, I don't know what she's selling. Click button to claim deal. Okay, that's an old school way of doing it when you don't have graphics. Just type it up and put it on the screen. It works. But you see here, she's got the engagement, she's got the stars popping, she's got comments over here. Then here are the products she's talking about that you can literally buy right now. Right now. That's kind of, and not bad prices, if I must say. Okay. And then there are other people selling products in real time on Amazon. Now, Facebook, seeing this growth, Facebook started Facebook Shops in 2020. 2021 added the Facebook Shopping Live. Instagram, same thing. Instagram Shops were introduced, I think, in 2020. 2021, now you can tag products in your live streams and people can literally pay for them right through the street. So people, I'm trying to tell you, this
Follow
social,
the money.
you talking about grab the bag? This is a way to grab the bag. If you've got a Shopify, you can set up your Shopify and integrate it with your Facebook fan page if you want to do it that way, or you can upload your products right to your Facebook fan page if you want to do it that way. And I forgot what other integrations they have, but there's some other ones. If you want to do YouTube, same thing. This is not new to YouTube. You could always go live on YouTube, especially with your desktop. Not necessarily with everybody with the phone, but on a desktop, you can go. You've been able to go live and sell products the same way we're talking about it now, and just put a link to the website, to the landing page or whatever in the description. So that still works. And they've added the extra little shelf where you could sell your t-shirts if you're doing
Merch.
they got YouTube has an integration with Teespring, I do believe, or somebody like that, if you're selling merch. So China, like I said, is way ahead of us in this. Kind of like QR codes that came and went. But at the end of the day, this is another way for creators, influencers, because like you said, if you want to do this, if you want to do it at this level, typically speaking, the platforms, whether it's TikTok, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, or whatever else, usually there's some barrier to entry. You got to have 10,000 subscribers or something of that nature. But the reality of it is, as long as you can go live, you can sell a product. You may not be able to have them buy it right through the platform. There may be an extra step. But as long as you can go live on the platform, even LinkedIn, you can sell a product and or service. That's all I'm saying.
So do you
Okay.
think that you'll be doing anything like that? I mean, I'm trying to think of how I would use it because I'm not like an Instagram influencer. I don't have like a makeup or something that I can be like, buy this great, amazing makeup. I'm more of a service provider. How do you think service providers could use something like this?
Well, first, service providers, you got to get in the mindset of selling not only your service but yourself. Because in what I find with a lot of small businesses and service providers is they want to hide. And it's just like, no, 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 no. You want to build that know, like, and trust factor.
Mhm.
And when you build that know, like, and trust factor through video, you provide value. You give people a little bit of your background. And when I don't mean just your background personally, but your business story. People buy from people that resonate with them. If your story resonates with me and you say, hey, I got something over here that will help you get from point A to point B, digital product, take my money. Just give me the link. Just give me the link. I've been watching you go live now for however many weeks, months, or whatever it is. And now I trust you. Now that I trust you, and you've got some of your customers on the live stream with you, talking about, your customer service and how you got them from point A to point B. I mean, basically you're doing the same things we do all day, every day, but we don't necessarily call it live shopping, nor do we even call it social selling. But by mere fact that we are service-based businesses and sometimes we have digital products. So that said, by seeing us, by hearing us, by us providing value, 9 times out of 10, if I put something out, somebody is going to buy it. You may not get rich, your first time out the gate, but consistency is key. And that's where a lot of us drop the ball. I did a live stream. I didn't get nothing. I'm done. It don't work.
Well, you're inspiring me a little bit here because I hadn't considered doing something like a live shopping experience for myself, for my business in 2022. But now you've given me some inspiration. I'm going to percolate on that over the weekend and see what boils to the top.
Hey, it's time for the percolator. Okay, that's a whole nother. Okay, Jennifer, you probably don't know nothing about that right there. But anyway, Maxine Grant says, what would you say is the best duration for a podcast? She says, I am launching a podcast next month. And this is
Yay.
something I thought to consider. Take that, Jennifer. Go ahead.
Absolutely. So I look at a podcasting length. It really depends, and that's a terrible answer, but I'll give you an example why. I listen to a podcast that comes out twice a week that's 3 hours long, and it's
Wow.
not long enough. But I listen to other podcasts that are anywhere from, 10 to 15 minutes long, and they're perfect. So it really depends. However, I do break it down into four distinct lengths. You got micro podcasts, which are under 5 minutes. You script it, you've got something to say, you want to share it, and you get it out the door. I look at nugget podcasts, 5 to 10 minutes. And if you're thinking, how can you get information out there? I would look at Nutrition Diva. She does a 5 to 10 minute podcast, and usually it's like 9 to 11 minutes. And I get a lot of great information out of that podcast. And then you look at commuter podcasts on average between 20 to 30 minutes. The average commute for some. I know some people push back and say, my commute's an hour long. Well, then maybe you listen to two episodes during your commute, but 20 to 30 minutes. And then you have the long form content. That's like 45 minutes plus. And usually that lends itself to more live, because the longer that your podcast is, the more, and if you're doing it not live where you're pre-recording and doing post-production, the longer it's going to take you to do that post-production. So be mindful of that, of what your time is when you're actually building your podcast. Know what you look at your calendar, look at your schedule, and have a real understanding of where you have the time to do this. Because you're launching a podcast, everything is new and it's kind of a heavy lift, and it's kind of like stop the presses. I've got to come and do all these things and get things going. So I would recommend starting with something that you look at and it's going to feel comfortable for you. And you can always change it. Just take your audience on the journey. Let's say you start with a nugget podcast, and then you eventually want to go to a commuter, or you start with a commuter and you eventually want to go backwards, or you decide you want to go long form. It's totally okay to shift your podcast in that direction, as long as you take your audience on the journey with you and don't just abruptly change something without informing them or letting them know your reasoning why. But yeah, I would take a look at the podcasts that are similar to yours that you like and that you'd like to model, and kind of blend yourself into that and see if it fits. It may not fit for you. It may not feel right. You may want to go longer. Great. Go longer. Just take your audience on the journey.
Okay, wonderful. I got to give a shout out here to Cherie Darnice Burrell. And why? Because if memory serves me right, and she's watching on LinkedIn. This is the Burrell marketing company or agency. And for those of us who are of African American descent, and you wonder why McDonald's over the years, especially, if you watch McDonald's and how they've done certain campaigns to African Americans, especially back in the early 90s and the 80s, Burrell. If I'm not mistaken now, Miss Cherie, let me know if I'm wrong about the timetable. But if memory serves me right, thank you, thank you, and thank you, thank you, thank you, because this whole conversation about diversity and inclusion is not new, but people that have been doing it for over 20, 30 years, 40 years before it became a thing, this right here. So I want y'all to see this name. Go ahead and Google it.
Hmm.
Go ahead and Google it.
That
Oh,
they're the drivers.
okay. She says, hold on. I'm wrong. I'm wrong. I am wrong. She says, you are thinking of Burrell Communications. We are another company. I apologize. I apologize. I apologize. See the mistakes that you can make? But so, Cherie, what that says to me is, I'd like you to be on the show. Tell me what your company is about. Now, I know we're on LinkedIn together, but tell me what your company is about. She says, we also have been doing it over 40 years. What is it?
Wow.
Marketing, and because I think you're still a marketing company, if I'm not mistaken. So yes, at the end of the day, you can still
We need to know
Google.
more.
We need to know more, and you have an invitation to come on live and talk about it. Indeed. Okay, so let's move on to, because we want to wrap this up pretty soon, because I'm trying to stay on time, because I'm beginning to sweat. These lights are hot. Okay, so let's get down to number two. Number two, we talked about live shopping. Now, the like button. People, in case you have not noticed, okay, move closer to the screen, please. I want y'all to understand something. 2022 and beyond, when you get in these groups and you keep telling people to like your page, that vernacular is now outdated. Okay? If you're on Facebook, it's all about followers now. So the best thing to say is follow my page, not like my page. The other piece to that is a lot of your major platforms, YouTube has gotten rid of the dislike button, and all of YouTube universe went damn crazy. And understandably to a point. And I'll talk more about that in just a second. But when it comes down to Facebook and Instagram, and we've been hearing for years, Instagram, we're gonna keep the likes, we're gonna get rid of the likes. We're gonna keep the likes, we're gonna get rid of the likes. Quit playing with our emotions and make a decision. So in
Yeah,
2021,
no, I agree.
2021, they finally made a decision. And basically, the ball is in our court. So we now can decide if we want to hide likes on our posts, and or if we don't want to see likes on other people's posts. Why? Simply because we placed so much value on a vanity metric. And what I mean by a vanity metric, it's something obviously that you can see, but too many people were hanging their existence on how many likes you got. You know, you want to pop your collar because, I got 10,000 likes. But did you make $10,000? How about $100?
How about $1?
Five, anime, five. You got five on it? Do you have five on it? So at the end of the day, the pressure that people were beginning to feel regarding likes, especially young people, teenagers, and the younger demographics, those impressionable, still quite moldable minds. I think Facebook, after getting its butt smacked by Congress, seeing what happened with Facebook, other platforms were like, you know what? Maybe we need to dial this back a little bit. So Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube all decided we're going to do something about this like thing. Although YouTube was a little different. YouTube decided, you know what? The dislike button. Some of y'all have weaponized it. How come people can't be nice online? You got nothing else to do but to be mean all day, every day? Is that really what gets you going in the morning? In the evening, whenever you do it, just remember karma is yeah.
She's about to jump on the soapbox. Let's go, folks.
Let me roll that back. It is a family friendly show. Okay, so when it comes down to the dislike button on YouTube, YouTube said, look, here's the thing. When you are someone who's just starting out on YouTube and you're still trying to grow your audience, and people really look at those likes and dislikes. Me personally, I didn't put that much weight in them. Now, I knew that YouTube, as far as the algorithm was concerned, put, some weight on those. But as far as influencing me to watch a video, no. I never really put too much value on the like, and especially not the dislike button. But I'm grown. I'm a little older than most.
I think I use comments more than anything else. I kind of like to look at the comments and see what people are
Yes.
saying. And then that kind of is more of, for me, an influence.
Thank you. That's what I was using too. And I'm a scroller. I'm an old school TV person. If I can't scroll through a video, I am livid. Just you gonna make me sit here and watch this? But when we start thinking about, once again, weaponizing social media, weaponizing these features of social media, YouTube did not want to be caught in Congress's crossfires. And I think the other piece to that, if we're honest, when major brands and celebrities and the whatnots are doing their YouTube channels and YouTube videos, and they got more dislikes than likes,
Yep.
politicians,
Hmm.
yeah. It's just bad PR.
Well, they know where their bread is buttered, so this is
It's bad.
an
Yeah,
easy way to fix that.
it's bad PR. So you can still see the dislikes on the back end because they kind of hit it. But at the end of the day, as far as how many people dislike something on your channel, the public does not see that. And so there was a huge fallout with YouTubers about that. I thought that piece kind of caught me a little by surprise. But, people like what they like and they put their, certain importance on various things. So, the Burrell Company is an international PR and marketing firm, burrellworldwide.com. There you go. So people, you can Google that in the next 6-7 minutes once the show is over. Okay, so let's get into the number one story, in my opinion, of 2021. I got everything but a drum roll. John Brown.
Oh,
I don't have a drum roll
I don't have a drum roll.
sound of what can I use instead? I got
Applause,
a DJ.
'cause
I got a
number
DJ
one.
air horn.
There we go.
That's all I
Good.
got. Bad pre-production on my part. Okay, so the number one story, in my opinion, for 2021 that had social media abuzz for days. 4 days was what? The Facebook whistleblower. Woo,
Oof.
woo, woo, woo. Ooh-wee. Now, Jennifer, I want you to talk about after you heard some, I don't know whether you saw the Facebook papers or not, the Wall Street Journal created, thanks to the contribution of the Facebook whistleblower. And I'm going to show y'all a little snippet from her being before the Senate committee in just a second. But what was your take on this?
It was to some extent, it wasn't so surprising because Facebook is so like kind of sleight of hand with stuff. Like you can't actually talk to a human being over there unless you're spending
Yep.
significant money.
Mm-hmm.
And the way that they change things, even if you look at the ads on the back end, things don't really align the way that they're saying you got this, but then you're looking, it's like doesn't look like this. So I've always felt like they kind of were a little shady. And so when I saw all this stuff, I'm like, yep, it just kind of validated everything I thought about them. And actually it was pretty damning on their practices.
Yes, when we start talking about PR and perception and sentiment, we had the hashtag what is not leave Facebook? What is it? Kill Facebook? What was the hashtag that comes up like every couple of months regarding leave Facebook, kill Facebook, whatever it is? At the end of the day, right now, there is a huge distrust factor with a lot of people concerning Facebook. So Facebook has seen people leave, but
A lot.
the irony is for seemingly for everyone for everyone that leaves, they gain 10,000 more. It's just like, because
But
at the end of the day, we have not heard of a mass exodus of Facebook yet. Now, people may have left, or they're not using it as much. We've seen some businesses say they're not using Facebook as much as they used to, but there has not been a mass exodus at all of Facebook. It is still the most populated platform across the universe, not just here in the States. Okay? So what does that tell us? Despite the fact that the whistleblower, like I said, I'll show you in just a second what she had to say and why it's so significant. But at the end of the day, when it comes down to business, I think a lot of people are in that mindset of, well, as long as Facebook is still providing the value that I want with these Facebook ads, because hands down, it is still the best ad targeting across social media. Some would say it's better than Twitter. Some would say it's better than TikTok. Some might say it's better than LinkedIn. When it comes down to my business purposes, I can ignore all that other stuff where Facebook is concerned. Now, let's look at a little piece of the whistleblower. Let me see. I gotta find it right quick. Hold on, hold on.
Well, while you're doing that, I will say I think YouTube is a really great place to run ads, and I kind of think it kind of goes a little bit into shopping. And then in reference to Facebook and the mass exodus, I think people maybe didn't necessarily delete their account, as you said. I think they're just not using it as much. I know I
Mm-hmm.
personally use it a whole lot less.
Mm-hmm.
Probably the one thing that keeps me going back, other than family, are the groups. The groups are the powerhouse and the stickiness to me of Facebook.
True that, true that, true that. So I'm gonna play you this little snippet. And I'm trying to think what the lady's name is who was the whistleblower. Because it was a whole week of drama leading up to this trial. Well, not trial, but her being before
Testimony.
the testimony. Okay, so here's one little snippet.
Engagement-based
Oh,
ranking.
hold on.
Facebook says
You can hear it, but you can't see it. That's
because
odd.
we have AI,
Hold on.
the artificial intelligence will find the bad content that we
Hold your mule. Okay, why can't we see that? I need to see that, not just hear that. Okay, so we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this live. I hope it works. Okay, so we'll do this. We'll choose a file. Okay, and then we will find it here on the desktop. And here we go. Let's see if it'll play it this way. There you go.
engagement-based
Still won't play the video.
Facebook says we
Can y'all hear that?
because we have AI.
I can hear it.
You know, the artificial intelligence will find the bad content that we know our engagement-based ranking is promoting. They've written blog posts on how they know engagement-based ranking is dangerous, but the AI will save us. Facebook's own research says they cannot adequately identify dangerous content, and as a result, those dangerous algorithms that they admit are picking up the extreme sentiments, the division. They can't protect us from the harms that they know exist in their own system.
Wow. They can't protect us from the harms they know exist in their own system. So the other piece to that is this. Now, Congress was looking at Facebook because Congress and Facebook, they don't get along. Let's just keep it, honest here. We claim we want to be authentic. Congress is looking at Facebook right now as the go-to because what happens with Facebook is going to impact what happens with social media across the board. So this story about how Facebook and Instagram were impacting young girls and their self-esteem, that's what kind of got the ball rolling a little bit. But another thing that got the ball rolling was the fact that Facebook, you keep doing stuff to get yourself in trouble time and time and time again. What is the problem? How is it you say you're working on something? Oh, we're going to fix it, but you don't. Why is it every year we're having to bring you back before a committee and ask you what is a
They're like repeat offenders.
what's the problem? And Congress, unfortunately, they're not as savvy about social media, and sometimes it really shows painfully. But at the core of it, they understand what works on Facebook. Facebook is the poster child for social media. And even though all of social media is not just Facebook, but they understand if we make an example of Facebook, the rest of y'all need to clean up. So I suspect in 2020, well, let's see, maybe not in 2022, but maybe 2024, 25, some regulation is probably going to end up coming to Facebook. I don't know how, don't know when exactly, but I think too, the interesting part about the metaverse coming, the timing of that metaverse, the announcement of the metaverse with all this extra drama that happened before the announcement, the timing of that is not lost on anybody. I think even Stevie Wonder could see that.
It was painfully obvious.
Yes. Although, they'll claim, no, that's not that's not that. I'm like, come on, that's a good PR strategy. You got some negative stuff out there about you. What do? You put good out that people can buzz
Yeah,
about.
to blanket
Yeah,
that bad
to
news.
distract them. Exactly. So Pat says, members of Congress have yet to accept rock and roll.
Oh,
So they don't understand Facebook or the internet as a whole. That's a good one.
very good one. Spot on too.
Oh man. She says, now Sherry says, in October, former Facebook employee turned whistleblower Frances Haugen, that's her name, thank you, Frances Haugen, shared the documents that reveal several potential issues at the social media giant. That's it. That is it. And it's funny because we as social media people, we don't publicly often say stuff, but we were watching. We were watching intently how this is going to go, even though we know what we know, but until you get proof, now you can't say it's just theory. Now we can no longer say, oh, well, you don't know if that's how Facebook really operates. It is now investigated, documented, and reported. Question is, what do we do with that information? Do we keep business as usual? And that's kind of what it looks like until something really, 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 really major happens. But we've had major things happen, but nothing seems to change as far as how we use Facebook for business. So any other comments on that? So that's a wrap, people. That's everything. So any last comments, questions from the floor? If not, we're going to wrap this puppy up. So Jennifer, what are you looking forward to for 2022?
I am diving all into creating content on the blockchain, the same behaviors that we do on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, etc. You can do it on the blockchain, except on the blockchain, the ability to earn is built right in, and you don't have to reach any level to qualify. So that's what I'm going deep into in 2022.
Blockchain. Okay. I'm trying to wrap my mind around all of that still. Because I'm still in that paper money mentality. Because, you watch enough movies where, especially the sci-fi movies and things of that nature, and, money is it's not even, currency is just defined differently. But when the electricity and everything else, you can't go to the ATM, and we're living in some sort of dystopian world. Here's $1. Will that still buy me some food, a little bit of shelter? What would this $10 get me? That's why I'm like, I'm holding on to these greenbacks, to these dead presidents, because I know some people now want to be paid in Bitcoin and things of that nature. And the whole conversation around social media and NFTs.
We're going to have more conversations like that in 2022. I can tell you that.
Yeah, I'm not there yet, but I got to get there. I do know that. People, we can expect TikTok to keep growing by leaps and bounds. And in my opinion, soon there will be no visual difference between Instagram Reels and TikTok. One of them has to do something big. And I do mean big, to separate themselves. Because TikTok may not see Reels as competition, but you can best believe Instagram sees TikTok as competition.
Big competition.
Big competition. So I think TikTok has to do something really, really major. But as of this point right now, in case you haven't figured it out, people, if you're going to use Instagram, Adam Mosseri, the CEO, already told you it is now officially a video app. It is no longer a photo sharing app. So in 2022, if you're not willing to do video, you're gonna have to do something. Because maybe it's social audio, maybe do some graphics, turn slides, something. You're gonna have to really invest in video. And I know a lot of people, that is not what you want to hear, but that is the truth. So any other last minute things? No? So Jean Carell, thank you over on the YouTube. Thank you for coming in. So let me do my shout outs right quick. Curtis, thank you. Troy, what's up? Namdi. Hey, it's a great name. One of my favorite artists' name is Namdi. Okay, so Pat Durr representing Maxine Grant from LinkedIn. Hey, how you doing? And thank you for coming through. Is her name Laris Bernard? She says this was a great show and discussion about social audio. And thanks, Jennifer. Thank you for watching. Thank you. LinkedIn, do you see this? LinkedIn, you could have given. Let me get off my soapbox. Just saying.
It's coming.
If you had given me LinkedIn Live earlier, we could have been popping before now, but y'all had to wait for whatever reason. Okay. So, am I missing anybody? Cherie, Jean. Am I missing anybody else? No? Okay, well, that's it. That's a wrap, people. John Brown, hold on. I got it. It's here somewhere. Hold on. It's here. I always forget the main thing. It's here. You know what? It's not worth searching for a lie. I got a fake one. I would just use my digital version of my clapboard. Here we go. Here we go. Let me find it first, because you always I gotta look for it. So people, Happy New Year Eve. Happy New Year. Much success to everybody in 2022. These last couple of hours of 2021. Be blessed, be safe, and I will see you next year. Parting words for you, Jennifer.
Happy New Year, everyone. Take the time to pat yourself on the back for a job well done. Don't look at all the things you didn't do. Celebrate all that you did, all the people that you impacted, and all the folks that impacted you, and then go forward freshly and enjoy the new year.
There you have it, people. It's officially a wrap. There you go. Okay, there's my clapboard. I thought it worked. It did work. It used to work. It was supposed to work. Where's my clapboard? I got so many buttons to push up here, it's ridiculous. But that's my fault. That's not y'all's fault. But my clapboard is here, but it won't work. It's unfortunate. Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
There you have it.
Right.
It's a wrap. Bye, folks. See you next year. Bye-bye.